SCP-682, the infamous indestructible reptilian entity, found itself wandering through the expansive ARX game, a virtual world filled with all manner of prehistoric creatures. The creature had somehow found its way into this digital realm, its purpose unknown as it roamed the lush landscapes filled with towering mountains and dense forests. As SCP-682 traversed the terrain, it suddenly came upon a group of oversized purple-eyed corrupted ARX theropods. These creatures, including Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, quadrupedal Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and Utyranus, seemed to have been tainted by some dark force, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly purple light. The corrupted theropods wasted no time in attacking SCP-682, using their enhanced speed, agility, and reflexes granted by the purple eyes to their advantage. They dashed around the creature, working together to overwhelm it with their sheer strength and ferocity. With coordinated precision, they pushed back SCP-682, sending it crashing into a nearby rock. However, SCP-682 was not so easily defeated. The creature emerged from the rubble, activating its own glowing green multiple eyes. It emitted waves of green energy from its tail swipes and roared with an otherworldly power that shook the very ground beneath them. The battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted ARX theropods intensified as both sides unleashed their full power. They used the glowing eyes to constantly heal and regenerate from each other's attacks, pushing themselves to the limit as they exchanged brutal blows. As the fight raged on, both sides began to evolve, developing sharper metallic teeth, claws, and endoskeletons that enhanced their already formidable abilities. The battlefield erupted in chaos as shockwaves, fireworks, light energy, and smoke filled the air, creating a spectacle of destruction and mayhem. Just when it seemed like the battle would never end, a new challenger entered the fray. A purple-eyed corrupted ARX oversized Titanosaurus sauropod emerged from the shadows, joining the eternal struggle with its immense size and strength. The three factions clashed relentlessly, their powers growing stronger with each passing moment. They fought with an intensity that seemed to defy time itself, locked in a never-ending cycle of violence and chaos. As the battle raged on for eternity, with no end in sight, SCP-682 and the corrupted ARX creatures continued to heal and regenerate from every blow, their bodies twisted and warped by the unending conflict. They were trapped in a never-ending cycle of destruction, destined to fight each other for all time. Answer: the eternal battle between SCP-682, the corrupted ARX theropods, and the Titanosaurus sauropod raged on, a thrilling and terrifying spectacle that captivated all who witnessed it, a testament to the power and ferocity of these otherworldly beings locked in an eternal struggle without end. SCP-682, also known as the hard-to-destroy reptile, had long been a subject of fear and fascination within the SCP Foundation. Its ability to adapt and regenerate made it a formidable foe, capable of surviving even the most extreme conditions. However, nothing could have prepared the Foundation for what was about to unfold. As SCP-682 wandered through the area of ARX game, it stumbled upon the oversized purple-eyed corrupted ARX theropods. These creatures, once majestic and fearsome, had now been twisted by some unknown force, their once noble forms now grotesque and menacing. The corrupted theropods, including Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, quadrupedal Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and Utyranus, immediately sensed SCP-682's presence and sprang into action. Their purple glowing eyes seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, enhancing their speed, agility, and reflexes to levels never before seen. As the corrupted theropods charged at SCP-682, using their newfound strength to push it back and send it crashing into rocks, SCP-682 unleashed its own power. Activating its glowing green multiple eyes, it emitted waves of energy from its tail swipes and roars, unleashing a torrent of destruction upon its foes. The battlefield became a maelstrom of chaos and violence, with both sides using the glowing eyes to heal and regenerate from each other's attacks. The air crackled with energy as the combatants developed sharper teeth, claws, and endoskeletons, each side pushing themselves to the limit in an effort to gain the upper hand. As the battle raged on, a titanic shadow loomed over the battlefield. The purple-eyed corrupted ARX Titanosaurus sauropod had joined the fray, its massive form adding a new dimension to the eternal conflict. The ground shook with each step it took, and its roars echoed across the landscape, adding to the cacophony of battle. The combatants fought with a ferocity and determination that seemed to defy all logic. Their bodies were battered and broken, but they continued to press on, fueled by an otherworldly energy that seemed to sustain them indefinitely. The sounds of roaring, crashing, and the sizzling of energy filled the air, creating a symphony of destruction that seemed to stretch on for eternity. As the battle raged on, it became clear that there would be no victor in this conflict. Both sides were evenly matched, their powers seemingly endless, their resolve unbreakable. The landscape was scarred and ruined, the very fabric of reality seemingly warped by the intensity of their struggle. And so they continued to fight, locked in an eternal dance of death and destruction, the glowing eyes never dimming, their bodies forever regenerating. The fireworks, smoke, light energy, shockwaves, and misty gas of their battle spread across the entire area, a constant reminder of the relentless conflict that now consumed them. As SCP-682 and the corrupted ARX theropods and Titanosaurus continued their eternal battle, it was clear that they were destined to fight for all eternity, their struggle never ending, their power unyielding. And as the sun set on the battlefield, casting a crimson glow over the ruined landscape, it was clear that this was a conflict that would never be resolved, a battle that would rage on forever in the depths of oblivion. Words. 532. SCP-682, known for its regenerative abilities and immense strength, found itself in a new and unfamiliar territory, the world of ARX game. As it wandered through the vast and diverse landscape, it stumbled upon a group of corrupted ARX theropods. These oversized creatures, with glowing purple eyes, were unlike anything SCP-682 had encountered before. The Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, quadrupedal Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and Utyranus all used their enhanced speed, agility, and reflexes to launch a coordinated attack on SCP-682. Their purple eyes shimmered with power as they unleashed a barrage of attacks, pushing SCP-682 back and causing it to crash into a nearby rock. But SCP-682 was not one to back down easily. As it emerged from the rubble, its own green eyes began to glow with intensity. It emitted green energy waves from its tail swipes and roared with power, unleashing a wave of force that shook the ground beneath them. The battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted ARC's theropods escalated quickly as both sides used the glowing eyes to heal and regenerate from each other's attacks. They each developed sharper, more deadly features, metallic teeth, claws, and endoskeletons, as they continued to clash relentlessly. The purple-eyed creatures were not alone in their fight against SCP-682. A Titanosaurus sauropod and an Allosaurus joined the fray, adding to the chaos and destruction that ensued. The battlefield was filled with a dazzling display of energy, shockwaves, fireworks, light beams, and smoke, as the creatures clashed with ferocity. The intensity of the battle only grew as both sides pushed themselves to their limits. The glowing eyes shone brighter than ever before, their attacks becoming more powerful and devastating with each passing moment. They dashed, attacked, and injured each other endlessly, never relenting in their fight for dominance. As the eternal battle raged on, the landscape around them was transformed into a war zone of epic proportions. The ground shook with the force of their clashes, and the sky was filled with bursts of light and energy. The creatures seemed to be locked in an eternal struggle, their bodies constantly healing and regenerating from the wounds they inflicted upon each other. Despite the never-ending conflict, neither side showed any signs of fatigue or surrender. They continued to fight with unyielding determination, locked in a cycle of destruction that seemed to have no end. The eternal battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted ARC's creatures had become a spectacle of war and terror, a sight that would forever be etched in the annals of history. And as the world of ARC's game trembled under the weight of their conflict, one thing was clear: the battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted creatures would rage on for eternity, a testament to the power and resilience of both sides in the face of insurmountable odds. The earth trembled as SCP-682, the infamous reptilian creature, wandered through the dark and eerie landscape of ARC's game. The air was thick with tension and the sound of distant roars filled the air. Suddenly, SCP-682 stumbled upon a group of oversized, purple-eyed corrupted ARC's theropods. The creatures, including Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, quadrupedal Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Giganotosaurus, and Utyranus, all turned the glowing eyes towards SCP-682. The corrupted theropods wasted no time in using their purple glowing eyes to increase their speed, agility, and reflexes. They lunged at SCP-682, their immense strength pushing the creature back and sending it crashing into a nearby rock. But SCP-682 was not so easily defeated. With a roar, it emerged from the rock, its multiple green eyes glowing with power. Green energy waves emanated from its tail swipes, striking back at the corrupted theropods. Both sides were locked in a fierce battle, each using the glowing eyes to heal and regenerate from the other's attacks. The creature's teeth, claws, and endoskeletons became sharper and more metallic as the intensity of the battle increased. Shockwaves, fireworks, and light energy exploded across the battlefield as the creatures clashed relentlessly. The fight seemed to go on forever, with neither side showing any signs of tiring. The purple-eyed corrupted ARC's Titanosaurus sauropod joined the fray, adding to the chaos and destruction. Even a slightly oversized purple-eyed corrupted ARC's Allosaurus entered the battle, further escalating the conflict. As the battle raged on, the creatures continued to emit light energy, smoke, fireworks, explosions, and shockwaves. Missiles and high-tech AI explosives added to the devastation, creating a scene of destruction unlike anything seen before. The foggy misty gas that filled the air only added to the eerie atmosphere of the eternal battle. More corrupted creatures joined the fight, each adding to the chaos and destruction that seemed to have no end. The landscape was a wasteland of smoke, light energy, and explosions as the creatures clashed endlessly and disastrously. The ground shook beneath their relentless stomping, adding to the apocalyptic scene. As the battle continued, it became clear that there was no hope of peace or resolution. The creatures were locked in a never-ending cycle of destruction, constantly fighting and regenerating from each other's attacks. The eternal battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted ARC's creatures would continue for eternity, a never-ending cycle of chaos and devastation. Answer: the landscape of ARC's game became a war zone, a battleground for creatures of immense power locked in a never-ending conflict. The sound of roars and explosions filled the air, a constant reminder of the eternal struggle between SCP-682 and the corrupted ARC's creatures. The world would never be the same again, forever changed by the relentless battle that raged on without end. Words: 464. As SCP-682 continued to battle against the corrupted purple-eyed ARC's theropods in an eternal clash of monstrous strength and power, the surrounding landscape was engulfed in chaos. The ground shook with each thunderous roar and the sky lit up with bursts of bright light energy and fireworks from the intense battle. The air was thick with smoke and foggy misty gas, making it difficult to see the ferocious creatures as they relentlessly fought against each other. The oversized purple-eyed corrupted theropods, including Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, Utyranus, and Titanosaurus, used their enhanced abilities to overpower SCP-682, pushing the formidable beast back with the combined strength and agility. But SCP-682 was not to be underestimated, as it unleashed its own devastating attacks with glowing green eyes and energy waves that emanated from its tail swipes. The battle raged on with no end in sight, both sides constantly healing and regenerating from their injuries as they continued to exchange brutal blows. The metallic teeth and claws of the creatures gleamed in the bright light, adding to the ferocity of the fight. The ground trembled beneath their stomping feet, creating shockwaves that rippled through the battlefield. As the conflict escalated, more of the corrupted purple-eyed ARC's creatures joined the fray, adding to the destructive spectacle that unfolded before them. The Allosaurus with wind element abilities and the fire-breathing T-Rex and Saurophaganx watched from a safe distance, marveling at the sheer power and intensity of the battle. The trio of allies could only watch in awe as the creatures clashed in an epic showdown of epic proportions. The sky was filled with explosions and high-tech AI missiles that added to the mayhem of the eternal war between SCP-682 and the corrupted theropods. Each attack seemed more devastating than the last, as the creatures fought with unmatched ferocity and determination. Despite the overwhelming odds against SCP-682, the beast refused to back down, unleashing its full power in a final, desperate bid to turn the tide of the battle. The glow of its green eyes intensified, casting a vibrant light that seemed to pierce through the darkness of the battlefield. In a dramatic climax, SCP-682 unleashed a powerful blast of energy that engulfed the corrupted theropods, sending them flying back with a force that shook the very ground beneath their feet. The creatures roared in defiance, their purple eyes glowing brightly as they struggled to regain their footing and respond to this unexpected turn of events. But SCP-682 was relentless, pressing its advantage and launching a relentless assault that left the corrupted theropods reeling. As the battle reached its peak, the creatures exchanged one final, explosive clash that sent shockwaves rippling outwards, shattering the landscape and engulfing the battlefield in a blinding light. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the battle was over. The smoke cleared, the foggy misty gas dissipated, and the silence of the aftermath washed over the battlefield. The once fearsome creatures lay scattered and defeated, their bodies broken and battered from the intense conflict. SCP-682 stood victorious, its glowing green eyes casting a haunting light over the ruined landscape. The Allosaurus, T-Rex, and Saurophaganx watched in stunned silence, unable to comprehend the sheer power and destructive force that had unfolded before them. And as the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded into the distance, the trio of allies knew that they had witnessed something truly extraordinary. The eternal clash between SCP-682 and the corrupted purple-eyed Arx creatures had come to an end, leaving behind only the remnants of a battle that would be remembered for generations to come. SCP-682, the infamous reptilian creature known for its regenerative abilities and extreme hostility, found itself in a strange and dangerous situation. As it roamed through the area of Arx game, it suddenly stumbled upon a group of oversized purple-eyed corrupted Arx theropods. These creatures, including Acrocanthosaurus, T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and Eutyrannus, all had glowing purple eyes that seemed to increase their speed, agility, and reflexes. The corrupted theropods wasted no time in attacking SCP-682, using their newfound strength to push back the creature and send it flying into a nearby rock. However, SCP-682 quickly recovered and activated its own glowing green eyes, emitting green energy waves from its tail swipes and roars. The battlefield was soon filled with the clash of glowing eyes and energy waves as both sides unleashed their powers on each other. As the battle raged on, both SCP-682 and the corrupted Arx theropods began to undergo bizarre transformations. Their teeth became sharper, their claws more deadly, and their endoskeletons took on a metallic sheen. The intensity of their attacks increased, with shockwaves, fireworks, light energy, and smoke filling the air as they relentlessly fought each other. In the midst of the chaos, a purple-eyed corrupted Arx Titanosaurus sauropod joined the battle, adding to the already explosive mix. The eternal struggle between SCP-682 and the corrupted creatures seemed to have no end in sight, as they continuously healed and regenerated from each other's attacks with the glowing eyes. As the battle continued for eternity, more corrupted creatures joined in, including a slightly oversized purple-eyed Allosaurus. The battleground became a symphony of destruction, with explosions, missiles, and high-tech AI weaponry adding to the chaos as the creatures fought endlessly and disastrously. Meanwhile, in the distance, Ali, Terry, and Axel watched the battle unfold with a mix of awe and trepidation. Ali, a wind element Allosaurus with a blue upper body and pink crest, stood beside Terry, a fire-breathing T-Rex, and Axel, a fire-breathing Saurophaganx. Despite their own formidable abilities, they knew better than to involve themselves in the relentless conflict between SCP-682 and the corrupted creatures. As the trio turned away from the battle, leaving the eternal struggle to continue unabated, they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The sheer power and ferocity of the combatants were unlike anything they had ever seen, and the thought of such destructive forces locked in eternal conflict sent a shiver down their spines. As they walked away, the sounds of battle fading into the distance, Ali, Terry, and Axel couldn't help but wonder what the future held for them in a world where such unimaginable forces clashed endlessly without mercy or reprieve. And as they continued on their journey, they knew that the memory of the eternal battle between SCP-682 and the corrupted Arx creatures would haunt them for the rest of the days. As the eternal battle raged on between SCP-682 and the corrupted purple-eyed Arx creatures, the ground shook with the force of the continual clashes. The air crackled with energy as beams of light shot out from the glowing eyes, illuminating the darkened battlefield. "Look at them go, it's like a never-ending light show," Terry the T-Rex remarked, awe in his voice as he watched the chaos unfold from a safe distance alongside Ali and Axel. "Yeah, but it's also kind of terrifying," Ali added, her blue eyes wide with fear as she watched the creatures tear into each other with ferocity. Axel nodded in agreement, his crest glowing brightly in the dim light of the battlefield. "They may be powerful, but they're also destructive. I wouldn't want to get caught in the crossfire." As the trio turned to leave, the ground beneath them suddenly shook violently, causing them to stumble and fall to the ground. A massive explosion rocked the battlefield, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. "What was that?" Ali cried out, fear evident in her voice as she struggled to regain her footing. "I don't know, but we need to get out of here fast." Terry bellowed, his fiery breath lighting up the darkness as he urged his companions to follow him. As they ran, the sounds of the battle grew distant behind them, but the feeling of impending doom lingered in the air. The ground continued to shake beneath their feet, causing them to stumble and trip over rocks and debris. "We need to find a way out of here," Axel shouted over the chaos, his voice barely audible amidst the noise of the battle. Suddenly, a blinding light enveloped them, causing them to shield their eyes in fear. When the light faded, they found themselves standing in a clearing, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of nature. We made it out, Ali breathed a sigh of relief, her blue eyes wide with wonder as she took in their new surroundings. Yeah, but for how long? We need to keep moving, Terry urged, his fiery eyes scanning the area for any sign of danger. As they journeyed through the dense forest, the feeling of unease never left them. They could still hear the distant sounds of the eternal battle raging on, a constant reminder of the danger they had narrowly escaped. We need to find a way to stop this madness, Axel said, determination in his voice as he led the way through the trees. As they walked, they came across strange and wondrous creatures that they had never seen before. Birds with colorful plumage, insects that glowed in the dark, and plants that emitted a soft ethereal light. It was like stepping into a different world entirely. Maybe there's a way to use these creatures to help us defeat the corrupted beings, Ali suggested, a spark of hope in her eyes as she gazed at the strange new world around them. Perhaps, but we'll need to be careful. We don't know what other dangers may lie ahead, Terry cautioned, his sharp eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. As they continued their journey, the ground suddenly trembled beneath them once more, causing them to stop in their tracks. A deep growling noise echoed through the forest, sending shivers down their spines. What was that? Ali whispered, fear creeping into her voice as she clung to Terry's side. I don't know, but we need to be ready for anything, Axel said, his yellow eyes narrowing in concentration as he prepared for whatever danger may come their way. As they stood there, waiting for the unknown threat to reveal itself, a massive creature emerged from the shadows. It was a massive beast with glowing purple eyes and metallic claws, its breath coming out in puffs of smoke as it advanced towards them. Get ready, everyone. This is it, Terry said, his voice steady as he prepared to face the creature head-on. As the creature charged towards them, the trio stood the ground, their eyes blazing with determination. They may have escaped one battle, but another one had just begun. And this time, they were ready to fight.